Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, after the old day job, I am off to check out the new biopic, Christy. Christy is directed by David McCode and is starring Sydney Sweeney and Ben Foster. And it tells the story of Christy Martin, the most successful female boxer of the 90s. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I actually know anything about this woman. I know that she was a boxer in the 90s, and I really don't know a whole lot about her story. So I'm going into this pretty blind, and to be perfectly honest, I'm happy about that, so I don't know exactly what to expect and what's coming. So you know what? It is enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get out the door, because first, I got to get to the old day job, and then I'm off to see the new movie, Christy. Welcome back, just getting home from Christy. And guys, I did enjoy this movie, but unfortunately it still fell within those traps of biopics. So let's get this party started, shall we? We're going to get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever so important high note. Now, this film is a biopic, and it's also what you could consider a period drama because it does take place in the early 90s, a little bit of late 80s, early 90s, and in the 2010s. So yes, you could say that it's a period drama also, but yes, at its core, it is a biopic. And this film doesn't really try to break that formula whatsoever at all. The film starts off at the beginning of Christy's career. We watch how she gets involved in boxing and how she starts off meeting her trainer and so on and so forth. Then the second act comes in, and that's when, of course, she's gotten some fame, she's gotten some money behind her, and things begin to fall apart. We then go into the third act, and this is where the things differ, but that's only because of her story, not because of the formula of the biopic. It's just like, wow, things take a big turn in that third act, but again, that's just the woman's life, and it really goes to some craziness. But all in all, guys, this film goes right into that formula, and it's really sad because I was enjoying this movie, and I think I would have suggested it a lot more if we would have focused on a little bit less of just typical, normal stuff that we would see in a biopic. I don't know exactly how to shift this around or change it, but we're just kind of getting overwhelmed with biopics these days. Every time we turn around, there's another story of another person, and while yes, that could be very entertaining and very intriguing, and learning these people's stories is not necessarily dull or boring, it's just, can we do something about this formulaic, trope-filled mess that is the biopic? Sometimes it can work, and it does almost work in this movie because of other factors other than the strict formula that this film has. But yeah, all in all, this is a typical, normal, run-of-the-mill biopic that you could pretty much just pull up a Wikipedia page about this person, read that Wikipedia page, and probably get the insane enjoyment out of watching this movie, except you're just not going to get to see everything up on the screen. You're not going to get all the cool performances and everything like that. But yeah, you're going to get the story. And that's the problem with these kinds of films, is they kind of feel the exact same way every time. Everything always starts out bright and hopeful, and everything seems great. Second act rolls around, that's when everybody is at the peak of their game, but then everything falls apart. Then we get to the third act, and that's when whoever the biopic person is strung out on cocaine for some reason, and everything falls apart. And that is exactly the same beats of this movie. And so in that area, I was very disappointed in just the way that this film was formed. Other than that, though, in all honesty, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a very good story, a very intriguing story, and just her life in general, or just her career as a boxer, was intriguing enough. I just wish they could have done something to spice it up a little bit. Maybe throw in more of her matches, maybe have some more of the boxing matches, maybe do some really cool cinematography and everything for those scenes, do some really cool fight choreography or something, do some more factual, ways that these fights happen or something. Make it a little bit more intriguing instead of like, yay, everything's great. Oh no, cocaine. Yay, it's the end and everything seems to work out. That's just getting to the point of just repetitiveness with these things. But all in all, yeah, that's pretty much the worst thing about this. So let's just move into those positives. And I would say the number one positive thing about this film, except for the story, is the acting. Sydney Sweeney does an excellent job in this film. She is our main focus, and her performance is very important to the quality of this film, and she does a great job bringing this woman's story to life on the big screen. Also, Ben Foster, who plays Jim, her trainer and husband, also, excellent job in this movie. The character, the person that he portrays, just amazing with his performance. The cinematography in this film was also really good. I liked the camera work, and the camera work itself almost set this film aside just a wee little bit to make it feel a little bit different than most of your biopics. It was getting a little stylish there for a second, and then it just kind of goes back into normal stuff. The fight sequences in this, these tournaments, the fight matches and all, they look great. The boxing matches, fight matches, same thing, I guess. But anyways, they look outstanding. I really like the way they were filmed. I do wish that the director would have done a lot more big, wide angle shots to really be able to see the footwork and everything that goes into boxing. Because when you really sit down and watch some boxing, it's like watching two dancers basically perform in front of you. It's a lot of technical, a lot of strategy and all that's going between these two people. And I really like being able to see that on the screen. This film does focus more on close-ups and getting into seeing what our actors' faces look like and everything. And I thought Sydney Sweeney did an excellent job in those fight sequences. It's obviously her. They weren't all just a stunt double and everything, and she put herself through a lot to make this film. It's obviously that she did do some training, she learned how to do some fighting, and she did a good job portraying the part. All in all, I would have to say that this film excels in the acting and storytelling, but overall, it just comes off as a normal biopic that you're really just going to watch and go, wow, that was inspirational, and there's also the possibility that you're not going to remember a whole hell of a lot about this. This film kind of screams Oscar bait to me also. It's just kind of one of those movies, and I feel like biopics are kind of doing that these days anyways. It's like someone puts out a biopic about someone famous, and all of a sudden the gold statues start rolling in. So who knows, maybe Sydney might see something coming down the wire. But at the end of the day, guys, I would have to say that this is a solid film, but I don't necessarily think that this is one that you need to rush out there to the movie theaters and check out. I think this is a perfectly acceptable film to sit at home and watch on a streaming service. Definitely a nice cozy day wrapped up in a blanket with a big bowl of soup and some crusty bread kind of a movie. Learn a little something about somebody, but as a film that I think that people are going to go rushing to see in the movie theaters, nope, I just don't think this is necessarily a theatrical film, but an extremely solid watch it on a streaming service type movie. So there you have it, guys. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.